Hello, I'm Thomas Willeford, and this is Meet Your Maker. People always ask me where I get good gears and parts and all the stuff to make some of the steampunk stuff I've made, and other projects, clockwork tarantulas and all the other little gizmos I make. And I salvage them from old clocks, mostly. It's cheaper to buy a clock than buy the gears, because taking the gears out, it's a pain in the butt. Here's a project I made mostly from harvested clock parts I had from so many clocks that didn't deserve such a fate. This piece here was great. It was actually made for a small museum exhibit. And it was about, they said building a better mousetrap. And I thought, what better way to make a better mousetrap than make something that actually doesn't wait for the mice? It goes and hunts them down. Has a little radar dish to find them, a little 2mm Gatling gun to take them out. And if they get too close, it has these lovely death blades to decapitate the little blighters. I've always thought that that watch bands looked like tank treads. So that's why I've got these here, which inspired me to make this. But this is almost all made of clock parts. All of that stuff, all of this, all made from clocks. Even that mechanism on the back. I wanted it to look plausible. All the mechanical bits should look plausible. In part one, I showed you how to take a clock and break it down to its main components. Now I'm going to show you how to break those components down even further to make them even more usable for projects like this. And here's the tools you're going to need. 2 relatively small screwdrivers, flathead, your needle nose pliers. This is very handy. It's a little crow's foot, pair of standard pliers. Small hammer would help. A rotary tool, doesn't matter what brand. A couple nail sets. Nice pair of safety glasses, possibly some ear protection. And if you really if you really want to do it and go for it, a small anvil will help. You can do it without, but a small anvil will help. These gears are great, but they're not flat. I can't put them on anything because all the stuff is on them. So what do? I'm going to tell you what to do. Start with the hardest one. So this one here, trying to see how this is put on here. There's a couple different ways that they do this. Because this is a cool gear to have, because it makes you can make it so it kind of make a wind-up gear from it. So you can put a key on that, strap this gear down, make it so you have a wind-up piece. So it looks like you're winding something up. Cool. Just back and forth, back and forth. There's a little clip here. There's a little bit here that goes into a little a hole in the spring. So that came off. Cool. Yeah. And do the same thing on this one. Kind of go get most of the spring out of the way. Might have to grab this because it's yay! So set the spring aside. I very seldom find any use for the springs. I always think I'm going to use something, but this is really cool. Again, this part can be held. You can actually get a key, glue it on, mount this, and it'll make a little, makes that noise and everything too. Cool. So this is all your gears. stuff together. I've even used this. I've even used those as little tables to work on, to do soldering on and stuff, because I think it's funny. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I get the gear off of this axle. So this anvil is one I picked up at Harbor Freight, something like that. About $50. Wasn't terribly expensive. But you don't need necessarily that. What you need is something metal with a hole in it. So what I'm going to do is I want to get this off there. This side is bigger than that side. That side is roughly the size of the hole. So it's going to be put this way down. And put it at the edge of that hole. I'm going to take a small hammer, just tap, pop, pops it right out. That's how you get rid of it. All the cutting and all the bending, and that's all you need to do. Same thing here. See this one? It's bigger there, bigger on this side than it is on that side. So you put the bigger side down near the edge of the hole, and you pop, comes right out. And you can collect those pieces if you want. Do it again. See that one? Smaller diameter, larger diameter. This right there. You don't want it in the center of the hole. Because if you do it in the center of the hole, it will bend. It's more likely to bend your gear. So you put it near the corner. See how this one works. This one's a little odd. So pop. Yay, gear. So here's one. This one has nothing on this side to hit. This side's the larger side. Right there. This side's the smaller side. So we put that there. I'm going to take a nail set. Nail set is one of these things. They're used for setting finishing nails into wood deeper. But they're hardened steel. You stick that in there. Pop. Pops it off. And you take your pliers. And use regular pliers. Not needles. Take your pliers. Grab it. Pull that off there. Yay! See? This is going to be tricky because it's got this piece here. I don't know how to get rid of that. I'm going to try to pry it off. My needle and those pliers. It might be big enough to go over that. It is. So I pried that off. Now I'm back to my normal thing. This is bigger, so that goes down. My fingers are way far away from that. And here's something. See how that's gotten, that's kind of domed? Put it back on your anvil or a sharp, hard surface. Nice and flat again. 2 more little gears to go. Same thing. If you're nervous about your fingers being there, you could use a pair of pliers or something to hold it. These are off-angle pliers, doesn't have to be. They can be these pliers, you'll notice, and hold it like this so that your fingers aren't there when that's too close. Yeah, I've gotten so I can do it in like one hit. There. Look at those. There's your nice flat gears ready to go. If you want to make these more usable, because you want that little guy there to spin. You can find a clock key, find them online, that type of thing, that'll go with this. But you need to get rid of that back piece there, right there, because if you don't, it's gonna, you can't use it on your arm or something like that because it'll stick into you. So, by the way, it's just sitting there for the moment. So I could use a hacksaw for this. It'd be easy enough. I could hacksaw it off, but that would take a long time, and I'm lazy. Rotary tool! Yay! I use one that has a like a pen attach. I call it a pen attachment, flex attachment. But you don't have to. You can use any rotary tool for this. Here's cutoff wheels. Love these little things. This one's a quick change. Do that by hand. So make sure you don't want to cut off the part that has the key part on it. You want to cut off just the back part. So put on some ear protection. Got my eye protection on. It helps keep from binding it up. All right. So now I have that piece. I can put a key in here and make it look like I'm going like that. Just by attaching this from behind on a piece of leather, whatever. I can make an arm guard that has a key on it, or a backpack that has a key on it. Makes it look like you're doing something. So removing the posts from this, pretty easy actually. Again, I'm going to use the rotary tool, but instead of trying to cut the post off, I'm going to take the back and kind of nip away at the little bit that's been peened over, like a rivet. Once you've got that nipped off, take your pliers, and just grab it. Pop it off. I've been trying to be super gentle with it. These just pop right off. But they won't just pop off. See, when they haven't been on the back end, the peened end hasn't been removed. I'm going to take the rest of these off. Pop them right off. Oh, here's another trick. If this won't come off too easily, remember that, one of these? Yeah, nail set? Well, they come in smaller sizes too. So I can take this, put this here, right over the peening, and pop it right out. Boom. If it's having too much problem. Now I've got a nice piece of flat brass that I can bend to fit on things. It's smooth on this side. It's not going to cut me or anything like that. And I've got a 108-year-old piece of brass on me. So my steampunk is more steampunk than yours if I'm doing that type of thing. Beautiful piece. And I would just do the same thing to the other piece. I'm just going to tear this other stuff apart, and then I'm going to do a show and tell at the end. Yay, another brass plate. So now I got brass plates, gears, and stuff, and the bell. There it all is. It's all set up. All your raw materials for doing cool industrial, steampunk, diesel punk, that type of thing. There's everything. All the bits and bobs. Everything you need that you can get from a clock. There's an entire chapter in my book, Steampunk Gear, Gadgets, and Gizmos, available on Amazon or directly through me, all about how to tear clocks apart and get the best parts out of it. A few little tricks there. I added some tricks here. There are some tricks that are in the book that are not shown here. If you liked what you saw, please hit that like button. Give me likes, make me feel better. And if you could subscribe, that makes me feel even better. If you would like to help keep things going, please click on my Patreon and feel free to help me out there. If you don't like the commitment that's involved with Patreon, there'll be a link below that goes straight to the PayPal for my company, keeping everything going. You can keep the test tubes bubbling and boiling here at Grimlore Manor. I have another book also, Even Easier Projects. So please feel free to take a look at it. Also available on Amazon. Thank you to all my patrons who have already contributed. You guys made this possible, made it so I can actually make this. And I'd like you all to go forth and make incredible things.